So this is it. So just make sure. So that's the system. There's nothing else. You get this one you have seen is just a sample. Okay. So what you're going to do? This is our database configuration that we've just set. This is the file. This one checks for the error. This is checks for the essential. This checks and redirects the file so that we don't have the system lagging. Should be working automatically. And then this is my function. This is to upload the file. Simple as that. This specifies the file upload URL. If I told you we're going to upload the file, but we're not going to upload any. Also, we're just going to be inserting up our record. This is to redirect to another page, which I've even used in logout here. So in logout here, which you might have seen that in my logout, I've said the root configure that, which is the configuration we've done from here. So you can see this is it, and this is I'm destroying essential. So when you say essential, destroy. Yes. So in simple term, when you check here now, there's nothing. So this is a login for the admin dashboard. Or in fact, you can even change it to be the admin what? Login if you want. Then I've added this page where she tends to handle if in case I don't want to show .php like you see. I don't want to show maybe index.php. Instead of doing that, you can just type and make a page .htaccess. This page here .htaccess. This is the file which does not allow you to put .php. So whether you have .php or not, it will still work. Then on the other way around, if you check here now, if you got the same thing applies when you got login or any other pages of PHP, or if I just say login, it will take me instead of me saying .php. You get? So that's how the system tends to work. So this is the online pharmacy management system. So simple and very easy. So let's work on the login so that we go to the dashboard and do other things. So I'm going to close all these other files so that we can go afresh. So all of these other pages, I'm going to delete them after this production, like after the working of this. So the next thing I'm going to do here is just log in, like so, and I just call it online pharmacy. Yeah, system. Simple as that. So the rest I'm not going to waste a lot of time editing these pages. Just going to move. That's it. So the source code is open on the GitHub. Whoever wants to use it, I've left it open. Okay, so this is it. So our login. Remember, in our database, this is what we have here. We have this here on our database, which have name, email, password, user type, and date registered. So I'm just going to copy this from here. So that when you get here now, you realize that you can just try to test from here. Remember the method in which we submit that in the database is called what? It's called? Yes, and action, put there as action. No validation means no validate means don't submit without what? Validating for me the what? The form. You get? Then this is going to be text. For the email, it's going to be email, so not text. And the name is called email. Then the password is called the password and it's password. So here is the type submit and also add another button called what? Add also a button called login so that you don't waste a lot of time there. So if you check now here, and also on the other way around, if you try to cross check, you also need to add something called well, we really have the validation, which is okay. But if you check here now, okay, if you try to click here, you see? So when you try to do that, it also still not so. But if you add that and give this, maybe .com, and then you click there, when you click there, that's when it submits, you see? Yes, so, but does not submit because somebody should be here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just insert a default because this is the default insertion. Maybe OSP Pro. Email is OSP, maybe pro@gmail.com. Password, maybe it is OSP123 OSP. Or let me just say OSP Pro to be the password, or just OSP. But I'm going to use the method called MD5 to encrypt my password so that doors is not seen. The user type I can just call it administrator for now. The date registered, I'm not going to specify it, I'm going to just leave it open for now. So when you click there, you should find this code generated for you, and that's it. So meaning if you check now here, the person has already been inserted, and that's what we have in our database. So this is the person you want to check whether it is logged in. So what are we going to do? You have to come back in here and create another page called process.php. Yeah, it's a good practice to create it, because if you want to use it, like for example here, I can just add process.php so that everything inside my page is processed inside this process. So I can just do that. I can either put my config inside the process, like inside here, so that I don't waste time. I can just say include for me config.php. Or you can just include, or if not so, just leave process to be the way it is. Don't tamper with it with the config. Just leave the way it is. So just maybe process codes goes where? Goes here. So just have that way. Then inside here, you can include independently the config, which is going to be coming from the root /config.php, which is this. Then you also include another page called what? The process, which is going to process for us what we want. So the config, this is for functions. Then this is for what? For processing what? Processing the data. Okay, so this is already having maybe this can maybe having DB, maybe all DB configuration, and that's what we have here. So you see, I've already defined all the DB configuration that maybe I'm processing up for me the data word, maybe getting the date of the month, extra date, get the next day, convert date, calculate dates for me, the start date and the end date. Then also here maybe delete. This is create etc. So to save time, just come back here. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time. I already have some part of the PHP code which I'm going to just use. This is for my login and this is for my register. So I'm not going to give you guys a lot of headache. So I'm just going to come back here.
Back end the front end. So that's the one.
Kati ye back end eno bino byolaba process front end ye HTML eno which I've turned into PHP, which is just having a display. So I just wanted to do this to save time for now. Like I already have this, so I'm going to move all of this off. This is to handle the errors. So I'm going to first start with the login, and I'm not going to send any SMS, like any message, and I'm not updating any token. So what I'm going to do is simple. I'm just going to move this off from here. So that when somebody's there, registration successfully, I just bring this or something of that sort inside here. So just you're going to get it from me. Then this verification, you're not doing any verification on this page. So this is just a simple login, but everything is going to be in the GitHub. Everything I'm pushing it on my, this is process codes. So everything is going to be in my GitHub accounts and it's open. So meaning anyone can access it as of now. So on the other way around, when you come back here, this is login. So if I go back to login here, what name have we given here? Remember we have name, that is not in project. We have email and what? And the password. Then we have what name is called what? The submit button is called login. So you go here and process and just call it what? Login. Then what are you taking? I've already extracted and I'm putting it to be MD5. Then you say select everything from and the password equals to password. So if the number is greater than, just fetch for me. So we already have that record here. So it is what you're going to put in the section here. So this is it. So that is going to be name. This can be email, user type. This can be date what? So here it also tracks status, that maybe try again if maybe it is not correct. Otherwise, when it is correct, you can add another section down here. Maybe login what? Successful. Login successful, and this just put success. Then if you want to add that, you can just add it here. If you set session status, because now you're checking up for that, so just echo for me. Just echo. Then your Annie set. So if you check this, what I mean, and to some extent, you may also realize that I've also got what? Okay, that's what we have. So I'm just going to close this for now, and I do this. So we said this and that. If you click there, I see invalid login detail. So I speak the error part of it. So if I put the right thing, ospro at gmail.com, and then just osp, it will show me the success part. You see success, and success will show me success, and then redirects me to the home page. So to sort that, as you can see, there's some errors we are receiving. That it's because, as you can see, it's telling us undefined variable row, that's blah blah. It's okay. Come back here, we have rows. Here we have row. It's just a matter of changing that from rows to row, which is sorted out. Meaning if I refresh here again and I do that, you just see success successfully, but does not go anywhere. But you have logged in successfully. Login successfully. So I want, after 2 seconds, take me to home page. Redirect. So come back here and click redirect. So that's going to be refresh, maybe 2 seconds, and then take me to which page? Now I don't do those funny things. In my configuration, I already did that here. I think home page is having online pharmacy /home, and I already told that anything dot what? Anything dot PHP, I've removed it because of my HT access. So I don't need to bother that. So meaning I just need to pass this home underscore URL there, and I close out. Get? So meaning somebody will just check and does that and try and etc blah blah. So login is done as expected. We can even go further and add some kind of a loader. For example, here I can also add loader so that when somebody tries to log in, even the loader tends to load. You can just create a section and say loader, and for it here does not got any other thing. Just call it loader like so, like that. So that when it is successful, we shall have another page that loads. Sorry, we have another page that loads, and its name is called loader. You get? Maybe what you can add in this loader, you may try to center it up. Okay, to avoid confusion, you can just go to maybe say bootstrap loader in. This is how the bootstrap loaders looks like. So it has the spin on it and the rest. So you can just copy that. make life simple for you, remove this here. Put the bootstrap loader like so. So that, if possible, okay, let me just say we have that. This is the loader we have. So we already have the loader the other side redirected to us. So if you check now here, so if I put wrong thing, just mean it because that's it. If I come and I put OSP Pro and I put OSP, if that load is to work, see? So we can just remove this part of it. So that we don't see any kind of text playing with it. Then instead of saying text secondary, spin for me that, then I can just add the big B. You can just add the biggie, the background, let it be what? Primary. Remember, I already worked on the logout, which is that. So when I click there, I've logged out. So when you go back here again and try to say OSP, and then just put OSP. So you see, it's actually loading for us. Simple as that. So we know that takes us in page, and in page we have nothing really productive, as you can see, and we just need to make sure we configure that.
Eri mu front end omuntu waregistaringa wano data connecting ate no wangu omulaba nti aregistarinze
Ati bye tugenda okukola, it's what next. We had just designed a template, and I'm using already a pre-designed template for someone, so that we don't waste a lot of time. But otherwise, we would start from scratch, but that's wastage of time when there are very many pretty nice looking templates outside there that you can start with and make a good admin dashboard than wasting a lot of time, a client's time. So on the other way around, we already have that. And as you can see, we already have something productive. So, but no, there's no registration for other people. That implies these other clients, they cannot access the what? The system. They will just stop there. And yes, there's a problem here. If you check, if you go to home, it just allows you to go. You can solve that problem by adding in something. I already have my pre-designed code, which could have been, they already have some code here. So I just need to configure something like that, which I'm going to add in my admin here. Where is it? Which is home. So I just need to go to header part of this page, which is this one here. So in the header part of it, I'm going to add, because this header is only used by the admin. These other users, this other index page, let me see, this other index page, they have their own header, as you can see. So this header here is having process, which is correct, and the config. And then if someone is not logged in, if the user ID is not in extension, just take him to login. Or I can say, instead of taking him to login, just take him back to the default page, which is site URL. You have done it? Me tomorrow. So tomorrow I will see what I will sit down with you, because I need to see what you really have. Okay. So if you check here, we have this. So I'm just going to configure this here so that I put, this is user type, which is already that. This way, say username, this can be just name. This can just be email. And then this can be phone, we didn't track that. Gender, we didn't track it. Email, this one we tracked it, and the date registered, good. So remember, that's the very section we happen to add here. And it's what you're trying to follow along around here. So when somebody has successfully logged in, you want him or her to, who is an administrator, to go and proceed with the system. You get? Now, on the other way around, what next are we going to do? So if somebody is not logged in, definitely can't, ends here. He cannot even go to login because he's not an admin. Let admin themselves go. And if someone comes back and just say, come to home, every much knows, he can't even a single second stay there. Yes, so meaning definitely if you come back here and you put OSP Pro, OSP, we log in very well successfully, and then takes us to home page. Now home page, we have some few things that you take care of. One of them is the category, which is going to be the categories of our products. Is it okay? So here it's what's going to be displaying the categories, the products you get, and our clients. You're going to add them here. Now, to be sincere and to make save time, this other part you're going to remove it off. So I'm going to just go back to here, and I remove what that thing called the component. Component. So all of everything of components, I don't need it because we are going to go direct to category and we are going to do all those code by our own self. So I don't need that. So we just only have blank. Which blank, I'm also going to show you that I don't need anything there. For now, it's not taking us anywhere. We don't need to go to any other page. You just want to be, when I click here, I remain there. 2, when you click on this dashboard, takes us to the other default, the index, which we don't want anymore now. So to avoid that also, just come here, remove this off. But we're not going to leave it blank. We want it to remain in the dashboard, which is home underscore URL. Do you know where it's coming from? It's coming from our config, which we said anything in the home, let it be based on this URL. That's why you see my configuration is more simple and easy to use. Whoever is a beginner, whatever, you can as well access this code on my GitHub and you find yourself learning the best. So, based on our online pharmacy system, there are some few things to remove, like this funny image of these people. You can go here and look for PNG avatar. So that you don't get like real person's photo. If you know you want to have a photo there, or you can remove it off. So I'm going just to go back here and I go here in my projects here, online whatever. I can just create a folder called uploads. And take a copy to avatar. So that's done. So when you go back to our index page here, realize that we have online avatar. That is the other image. Then you can also check also for online pharmacy logo. You can get for online pharmacy. Which one resembles this one here? Yes. So let me check. Okay. Maybe this. Which one? We use what we have. We're not dying of that. So you can always use your time and you do what is. You pick what you think it is worth. Okay. So I don't want us to waste a lot of time. We are live. I'm recording. So here I just come back. This is where I have the other stuff. So where I have K Andre or whatever Anderson. Remove that. And I'll just take a code name. Why name? Because in the section you already defined the name here. So just come also here and let's just put in, because that's the person section. Then here you just put uploads / that.php. So in refresh is what we should get there, see? So someone check there. But I'm not a web designer. Who am I? I'm the admin. Just like that. So that's the personalization, and that's it. So the profile part of it, we are not going to work on it also, or you want it? First, remove it. But in case they need you to have the profile, it's not very complicated. So you have to just remove this off. Then what you do, you go to user and just change it to what? .php. So that this can be just that. But remember, we already have our config here. So meaning in simple term, aside dashboard. You just need to move it up to where you have aside. Aside here. Main, header. Near the header ends. So here you're just trying to include header. So that's the main point there. So I'm uploading the codes at the same time. So when someone clicks here nagamba agenda ku dashboard, we are keeping the same header. Is what I'm trying to keep. Only that I think it has not yet worked. I don't know why. Because this is the header. Side. I think that's this all goes away. All of this goes away. Like so. So that's it. So when someone goes here and goes there, we just have only that changed. So in case you guys want to do some other updates there, you can always do that update as expected. So I'm not going to waste time there. So that guys you can always change, because even if you go right now here and you go to where there's this person, you just change. Just put what is the other side, because it's in the same URL, the same header. Just change here. Nogamba. Sorry, this is going to be what? Admin straight up. Like that. So someone, sorry, I clicked off what? That's it. So if someone comes here, as you can see, this logout. If someone goes here, he checks, this is it. So just these are the things where we have the index page, what there. We have the .html, look at again, that's the home. You just take it back to home underscore URL. So simple as that. So that when somebody is here, you see, takes him back to the default page. Now I'm not going to waste much time. Let's just go and add category. And what else?
How about can we have the contactors, the editors, and conditions?
In the system. That one will be the other part for the users, not here in the admin. You get that's in the admin. That's in the front end, the other side. You're confusing the two. We are in the admin dashboard now. We're only going to be doing the activities that are to be done, which is category, store, drug summary, and users. Users are these are you. So what I'm going to just add here now is the category of the products. You get? Which we are going to add from here. So this is the category. Okay. So meaning I'm going to just create a page called cat. So and I'm not going to create it as independent page. I'm going to use something called request. So that I just request for that page. So what I'm going to change so that when I'm on another page, I don't waste a lot of time. I'm going to go to home. Are you seeing this? I'm also going to create a footer for it so that I don't be here waste a lot of time. So I'm just going to come back here. I say footer.php. So what I'm going to do here now is to customize this other part of the page as expected. Now I'm going to just remove this off. So I'm going to just remove this and this is it. So I'm going to just remove because I'm saying this is revenue. Let me see here we have revenue. Okay, that's good. So that's revenue. I have section. Let me see that section. That's the section. Okay, that's good. And the main. Okay, so all of this becomes the footer. So you just call it as include. Then you just put it here in the footer. Simple as that. You don't need to waste time or work for whatever. Photo take care. So this same applies to all other pages that you're having. Even this one here. After that, all of this, yes, becomes the footer what? Tony, you take it. That becomes the footer page of application. Then in the other way around, when you check now, that implies the application has got the same footer and the same header. Okay. Now, what you're going to do now, this category I've saved it. So when you check back in our home, we have that we have there now. In a side ikicheko. Okay. I think this is category. When you say categories, differences for that. So what you have to do, well, this is the page that's going to be rendered within all pages. So you use something called, I'm going to use request method, which is going to become more simpler for you guys to work with. So you can use it in different ways, but I'm going to just make it this way. I'm going to say if interface is equal to admin. What is that? When you check here, we say that by default this person has to be, the user type should be what? Admin. But we may not determine which another user we have in the what? In the system. To verify that, you need to add something called to check if the person is really administrator. So what happens? Else if interface equals to maybe another user or just equals to user, maybe you're going to determine another user if maybe that's your target as well. And then also on the other way around, you may not just have else, means biganye, like none of them is of another user, but I just wish to display it there. Since whatever you would wish to have, maybe this can be moderator or whatever, I don't know. That's your target. And you want to show him or her the different activity they are going to what? To render in the page. So for now, none of this is applicable. So I just need to add and close it from here down. Meaning we don't have the moderator and don't have other users. But we expect the person at the moment should be what? Admin. So if you check here in the system, you shall not get an issue because this person who is logged is admin. But if you add another just point there called admin, it's not going to bring an issue here because you are still in essential. But if I just expire the essential, like a log off out of the system, and then if I try to log in again as admin, that as was before, you realize that I'll not be possible to access anything in the system. I'll access a blank system. You see? I cannot access anything inside here, you get? Because I've decided. So this part would be the same, but as well I didn't happen to include it there. That's why you see in simple terms it is still visible. But the same scenario happens. Like for example, you can go back to your header here and give that condition just here. And you say, you know what? For these other activities I'm going to be doing, I want to check for that as well. So just do the same thing, open up here, come and paste it here. Like so. If the person is an administrator, do that. Else, or you can also add else if there's another condition you want to give, like else, else if, so you want to give him this other second condition that you have just given down here on the page. Or you can just copy this as well, so that the person does not just come into anyhow in the page, or even to view an activity that we have in our page. So in the check, you see, we only have that. You get, and you can only log out. So if I go back here, I can just check and change this here a little bit, which is that. So if I change that to be that, if I go back here to online drugstore or whatever online drugstore, and I go back here, realize that now I can go to OSP Pro and I can go to OSP. And when I go to OSP, I've now logged in and now I can be redirected. But that's not the end. We also want still when the condition is that, but now we want to bring something called a request. That when I click here, other pages should only display for me category, because that's what I'm interested in. So that takes us back here to the default page, which is this. So what does that mean? I'm going to add another thing called if insert for me, request for me, the page, maybe called the category. Let me say category is going to be the default page I have. Else, another page that I want to request, let them follow, like let them come in. So I'm requesting an empty page for now. So what do I wear? But I'm recording the video as well, so you'll not get much disturbance as expected. So now here, this other page is going to be just this other page here. So meaning the default page as per now, or as we are speaking, is this page that we are rendering here, which is that. To avoid having a lot of issues in the application and duplicating the header, you would actually go for this, that this section is going to be applicable for all. I mean the main is applicable for all. So what I'm going to do, I get out of that, just after that, of my application there. And the same thing is what I do to the main here. So I get out of that, and in a simple term, I tend to make it just before this. So I tend to post it there. So that in a simple term, I close here and I start here again. If this is going to confuse you, you can move it because I don't want to bring issues. Some of you guys might be not so much into stuff. So you find that this, from here, I'm requesting other pages. So this request can even be as many pages as you wish that you're going to render. But later on we may render them like so. And here we say the category. So here we said, well, okay, in simple term, we are saying if this page category is requested, display what is there. Else display what will be in another page. Maybe blah, 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 depending on what we're going to do. Else, if there's no condition, else when we don't have any condition, that's the for it does not have any condition. That's why I say else. When it does not have any condition, just display for me this. Yes, and that's it. So you check now, expect nothing. But when you get out of that, like when I'm just in home, I expect to have that cells etc. And in one case, I can just now work on this part very fast because I want this video to be dark just for 1 hour and we should have that sorted. Let's first work also on these things and remove them off. So I may leave the messages, but the notification will remove it. Okay, so that comes from here. Let's combine notification. So I want to just check. So we just name this one here. Which that one also you can move some part of it. So when you check, we only have that. Okay, so now when you check in our category, we have nothing. But if I take you back by default in the index.html, you realize that we have some few things. When you go to tables, we have this type of table, and it's the table we are going to use. So I'm just going to go to the table.table data. So look for table data. So I'm just trying to first upload this code of ours online. So when you look for table data, table, that's called what? Tables data. You realize that it's having some other things. So you come here in the header, check this first, because we are going to also add our own. So just make sure you have everything. Okay, that's okay, we have it. And then look for the footer. So I'm just going to check inside our footer here, just to make sure we have the codes, because this tends to be table data. We have it as well. So the rest, everything, that implies everything is okay. So what I'm going to do is just to pick this section, which is having this main, so that it being our table, we have it as so. So when you come back here in home and you go here under category, we have that. Yes. So you find that in the same page, I've rendered this. Yes. So when you check back here again, I'm just going to move this and I go home. So when I go back here, you see, our record tends to be, and even is having a slash on it. So I'm going to first remove all of this off because we don't need it actually. This other stuff. So this goes away. This can actually be category. Just that. Then up as well, we have this, which is the default page of ours. So this can as well be home_URL instead of having that on as table. Category. That can be category data, like so. So you see, that's what we have. So in a simple term, what we have in our category? In our category, we have just got something called the name. But we are going to be displaying the product this side. So that we don't waste a lot of time and building a lot of robust kind of. Okay, so let's first move this off. You're very tired. You look to be tired. So just remove this one here. I did it non-attending. So I've just moved that. So at the moment there's no record, as you can see. But no one can access this page unless it's the administrator. That's what you have to know. That someone should be an admin to access this page. But it's what they're presenting, and even you can sell this code. Like you can sell it to someone, the real production. Just modify some few which might be lagging in my application and sell it out. Okay, so on the other way around, if you see that, that should be done. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to say then category and then product. Simple as that. Those are called users. Okay, let me show you that. I think you're confusing that. Let me add for you something here. That's called users, not that. Because here on category. So this is users. See, I told you dozing. So this can be users. So that's users. So when you check here, it's there. You can even use the very far. This is going to be person. But at the moment, we don't have any user there. What you do, you go back home. I see this one's for that has gone there. What you do, you can use this one to be the what? What you have added here, which is users. So what I'm also going to do, I'm just going to copy that very code, is what I'm going to paste inside there. I don't know if they have got me there. Oh, you have not got me. You'll get me slowly. Maybe users what? Data. So when you see this is users. This one is users. This is what?
Category.
So when you come back here, since he has been asking, when you go to here, you can as well first remove all of this and add here this. So that in simple term, I just use 1 second to first work on that. So we have the name, we have the email of the person, we have the, you don't use user, you don't display password, and date what? You don't display someone's password. So this, you don't display it. So in simple term, we have that. So the next thing is to create a function that gives you. So I already have my function. So for example, to fetch record from the database, fetch everything is called db SQL. It's here, this one. You see here? So just copy that. Come here. Don't waste time. Just come here and say, not include. You already have included in the top, and that was inside your header section here, header, which is config. And in your top of this very thing, we have also include from header. So you already have it configured in your application. Just come here and say db that and open. Simple as that. And say select everything from users. Simple as that. So here, just come and say, instead of using while loop, since here I'd already built it like this, so you're just returning up the record, and that's going to be so simple. Just say for each of, so here you define something, maybe it's going to be whatever users is equal to whatever you're defining there. So that is same as this can be users is equal to maybe a specified value, maybe same as equals to value, just like that. So that being user equals to something that you're trying to define. So meaning here, I've just closed that, and that's it. So when you check here now, like that. So if this is the point, you add here another thing, or maybe x whatever equals to 1. So you're trying to create a loop for this, so that you can always count, like this 1, 2, 3, and the rest. So put an increment that for us to be, that's going to be post increment. So let the first one be that very value that has got by default. The next is someone's name, which is same as having val. You're pointing to that. And then this one can also be val. I'm pointing to what? Email. And then also here we say val I'm going to use a type. Then this is date. Like that. So I'm done. So if you check now here and try to refresh, well, that's line unexpected line 84. And line 84 as that.
User type.
User type, which is this. So definitely that should refresh for us the user from here. I think you can see that's the user. That's the person in the what? In the database. Is it okay? Yes. And when you try to search, also searches for you. Yes. So this should work for you as expected. Though to some extent I may not add because of the time. I wanted the video to be just before 1 hour. Now we are going for 2. It's going to be 1 hour and 10 plus minutes, and we wanted to waste a lot of time. We have a lot of things to do under what? Category. Still under users, if I may say, we'll even add other things to delete and those things. But let us first go and work on this part for. Let me first take you here. When you come here, I can add another table, another stuff for another thing for shortly. Here, I can also add so this can actually be users.
Hello?
This is users. Okay. So
Okay, thank you.
So that's it. Then here we are going to display the users. So we don't need this increment or whatever they are trying to tell us there to do. So to do that, we need the number of users. So the simple thing to do, so that you can get a number of users, it's not very complicated. You can just say db, you can just say users or whatever user. I'm just going to call it user, like so, is equal to having db that query, and I say select everything from users. Then I just say maybe row count. This one definitely counts for the number of row. I've returned that. So there I can always come in and I can always define to get the users or user. What's that? So when you check that now here now, this should return for you the number of user, which is 1. So these are cells, but not yet worked on. This shows it returns the user. This so cells, this one you can even change it to be category. Let us just change that to be category before going to cells. So this can be maybe categories. Maybe drag. Okay, let me just say that maybe drag categories like that. When you shake, that's what we have. We can just say, we just move this off. Now to get that also is not very hard. Oh no, this one also move it off. just also come here and do this, do the same thing. This can be category, same as having the same thing. So remember, why am I using that? Why am I using that? Is because in my database configuration, I have my functions, but as well as I have my DB, which is from PDU, and it can always do from whatever thing I want. So I don't want to waste a lot of time. Select everything from category. Because if you check, that's what we have here. So select everything from category. You can also row count for you. And you don't need to waste time here. So why is saying number format? So that when it is 1000, puts that comma. 1 to make it is 1000, makes 1 like that. If it's 1 million, makes that. You get? That's why I say number format. And I'm just trying to push for us category. And that's it. So definitely this should give us 0 because we don't have any category there. The next thing that we can always push from this side is products or store, drugs. Like the categories of the drugs we are going to be having. Maybe painkillers. No, those are under painkillers. Those are categories. Now here is where we shall have drugs. Panadol, what. They were going to have this admin dashboard. No, I'm going to add it. I'm saying I'm going to add here what known as category. I'm going to add the products and I'm going to add the revenue. You get? So meaning just as you can see now here, this here. This can be what? Drugs. You can say drugs, or you can say products. Drugs. So that revenue definitely comes where? Down here. See, something like that. So drugs is coming from drugstore. So this definitely will be returning for us the number of drugs we have in the store. So I can just say drugs here. That don't waste a lot of time. Simple, I'm done. So that definitely is going to give us, which is also 0. Okay, so revenue is going to be how much money have we collected. It can be from the total drugs that they sell. Whenever each money it just accumulates, just called sales. Maybe total sales. Let's just be computing for us sales. You get? So I'm not going to deploy those kind of generating the graph and the rest. So for now, that can just be that. That is okay. Okay. So that's it. Now it's going to be UGX. And it is 0. So for now it's 0 since we don't have any money into the system. So that definitely should be giving us that. And this should be, if it is that, currency dollars. So we don't have currency UGX, but to make life simpler, you can put there our UGX. So that anything we put here can always be money. Yes, so that inside there we have UGX. Yes, something like that. So to make life simple, since this looks to be bigger, I can use its small letter UGX like so. Yes, that it means inside there.
Go ahead. Are we going to H1? That's where again now.
It will be bigger, so that's enough. It just sits inside there, not so? Yeah. Now our system is done with coordination. So we're only going to have one thing, category, and category we are going to be in position to add products within there. So we said we are going to be getting name. So let's go back to our home where you have category, and our category is just next to there, as you can see. So this definitely the category. So when you go back here under products, category, whatever, we have just cat name and cat what? This is from category. So we just have maybe category, simple as that, and then just say drugs. The rest are history. We don't need to know. Get the point? Now what do we have here? All of these other stuffs are going to get off. We don't need them. Something like that. We don't need them. So I'm going to simplify life because I'm going to be using a little bit advanced PHP here. I'm going to say cat, save time, and I'm going to just go db that. I'm not going to use any of my functions for now. I'm just going to use a normal PHP, which I believe all of you guys know. So this is going to be pushing for us all the categories we have. And I'm going to just load it like rows, or maybe row is equals to what known as cat that I've just defined. And I'm going to just fetch. I'm fetching PD, all that. You get? Fetch. I'm fetching objects so that I don't waste time coding the other part of the stuff. There are some other stuff. So here I'm going to just do this so that I don't waste time. So here that's it. So here the category. Remember we have the cat and the cat name. So this definitely is going to be for cat for products. You get? This is going to be for drugs. So this is where the categories are going to be. So what am I meaning here? So here it can just be row, and then I pass there cat underscore name. So that when you check there now, we shall not have anything. There's nothing there. But I can also add here another page just up to here where I have here this, and I just add another loop, maybe href, and I say add category. So I can just add the btn, maybe primary. So this is going to be for adding for us what? Category. So you can definitely, now all of these other pages we don't need them. Let me just try to add another thing called hash, maybe add category. Get? Then add your data toggle or toggle. It's going to be a model. That's a model. So just come in here and add this in your database as long as you have Bootstrap, or if not so, you can as well just pick from my GitHub. Just go to my GitHub and have this. I have this previously in my previous projects, so I can just try to pick one for you guys and I don't waste a lot of time. So that's it. So this can be new category, which I'm trying to put here. Maybe category name, which can be cat underscore name. So this same as having btn add category btn. So this can be add category, which is definitely going to be giving us chance to deal with the category. And the difference is going to be now here, which is speaking from this, which is saying add category, add branch category. Now when you go back here in the header, go down footer, go down here. Now what are you trying to add? I'm trying to add in what known as add category.php, which is going to be inside our footer there. So they mean inside our header. Why? Because there you're trying to create what known as a model. So and I'm trying to pass PHP at once to create a model. So when I try to click there, it will give me the model. But I'm already seeing a problem because our PHP is lacking something. For example, when you try to check here this add category, we should become from here to data toggle custom model. Let me check here, I don't know whether I made some mistake, but that's it. Data toggle should give me a model. So data toggle, yes. data, toggle, I think I like some bootstrap. So I like some whatever there to make it really function as expected. Okay, there's something it's lacking. We check that. So this is our header. Have this ready. Add toggle. Add the category.php. So let me see what's complaining of. I need to code this. So what I'm going to add there. A footer here. So assets lib. You don't need this backlight, but I may need the rest. Okay. So I'm just go to here. I go there. I go to assets. I go to lib. Okay. So lib gives me all what I need. Good. So I'm just going to go back inside here. Go to assets, and I go to lib. So that you now definitely have everything we need, and we get started. As well as I'm also going to upload it on our GitHub, maybe libs. So that definitely should be in position to upload for us all what we need. So let me give it a try. Hopefully it will work out. Okay. Still failing. It's fine. If it fails, let me just ignore that. Than me confusing our project with what might be not so necessary. Now, what I'm going to do, just move this for now. Just leave it for now. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back here. I go inside our footer, remove this off. And then I may just now make a request instead of what I was doing. So I'll go back. This is useless. I'm going to move it off. And then here I'm going to move this, and I'm going to move all of this. And I'm just going to create there so that I can always request it from here. So that I can say add category. So when you check now here, click there, it takes you to this page. When you click here, it brings you back here. When you click there, it takes you. So adding category, let me just get one page which may look to be what we want. And for that reason, I'm going to go to index.html. So that I try to go to forms because this was our previous stuffs. So I can just get this default forms of this. This is so nice, simple to use, to deal with. This layout also is nice, some kind of, I think, to make life simple and to waste less time. I'm not going to use something advanced. I'm just going to use this. Is it okay? Yeah. So I'm just going to go to forms elements. So this is what I want, form elements. So when I go to form element, I'm going to look for that. So this is this very section that so this is the section that I need. So definitely I'm going to try to first trigger everything off. Okay, and that's what I'm going definitely to put inside there. And mind that, or mind you on that now. If I go back home, okay, we get our stuff. When I go here and I go there, we have something like that. So this makes our application complete. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go back here on our stuff, inside here, inside there, Zam. So I think the video you can just first save there.